previously on Supa-Saturdays Draw-Along.
That's why I love to draw, and I wanna create Supa-Saturdays, Supa-Saturdays, Supa-Saturdays Draw-Along.
Supa-Saturdays Draw-Along welcomes you to Jungle June. That's right, join Jerome Hinds here on the Madness Entertainment Group for a month of tutorials on how to draw some of the best-known heroes from the land of rainforest. Black Panther, Shana the She-Devil, Khazar, and Zabu. And of course, the King of the Jungle, Tarzan. That's Jungle June with Jerome Hinds on Supa-Saturdays Draw-Along.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Apologies for the late arrival. There was a bit of miscommunication here for me to come online, but I'm here now. And as you saw from that beginning just now, we're still in the month of May, which is mainstream month. And next month, we'll be having Jungle June. We'll be doing all concepts from the jungle. Meanwhile, let's continue with our mainstream characters month. And you saw there in the introduction, we were drawing Forearm from Ben 10 last week. And we also started Spider-Man, which I wanted to start on because, or I wanted to cover, because he can be a bit tricky. So here he is. Here's where we are. If any of you are following at home, this is where we got to last week. And let's have a look at some of the intricacies of drawing Spider-Man's web. And before we get to that, let me set the mood. Let me get my usual backing track. I know you play on colors. And would you please turn that down? Okay, it's a bit quieter. There we go. Nice. So here we are. Here's Spider-Man. And I've got quite conservative eyes. I draw Spidey's eyes quite small compared to some artists. So now we're coming to the webbing. So I'm going to make a new layer. I'm going to call it DT2 for detail 2. And there's a few things that I want us to take note of when it comes to the webbing. Oh, I can see a few of you already tuned in. Thank you so much for joining me here on the Madness Entertainment Group. I'm Jerome Hinds. I'll be here for the next hour and a half. Supa-Saturdays Draw-Along is where I invite you to get your pencils, pens, brushes, styluses at the ready and try to follow me as I go through various drawing exercises. Today we're drawing Spider-Man. We're focusing on the head and the webbing because the webbing can be quite tricky, right? So the first thing I want you to do is between the eyes, sketch a circle. Sketch a circle, our favorite shape. There. Good. Now we've already got a center line. So we're going to start planning out the webbing. And the first thing I want you to do is between the circle and the chin, to give me two. Okay, how should I have two different ways of drawing Spidey's face. No, I'm going to go for 3. Divide this in 3. So 1, 2, 3. 3 spaces. And what I want you to do is, you got a circle. Continue to go in a circle around the circle. Give me a curve like that. And imagine you draw through the eyes and keep that circle coming up the other side of the center of the face. Now remember what we always say here on Madness Entertainment Group and Supa-Saturdays Draw-Along. Keep those pencils light. Indeed. Because we're constructing. Now our equilibrium here is pretty off. So let's fix that. Okay, that's more symmetrical, I dare say. So let's have a look at the other circle here. And through that marker we've done, give me another curve. And come up the other side. Good. And continue around and continue the circle above the eyes. Good. Now above here, at the top of the head, give me another curve. Now you see, we got dimensions for the head happening here. See, this is the side of the head here. So this is where your curve would become a bit more shallow because it's going around the side of the head. Come down here, around the side. Good. Then across the top of the head, again, we can reduce the distance because now we got a bit of foreshortening on the top of this head. If that makes sense. And then give me one more towards the back of the head. There. Now here comes the tricky part. We don't want to, when we put the webbing in the lower face, we don't want to make this too broad. You're going to end up with a very unhappy look to his face. So we keep this one quite shallow. Come from the center. Give me a straight line coming down. And as I said, quite shallow. Good. Then about the same distance. Give me another straight line on the other side. Same on the other side. And keep that going. It's all about averaging. The art of drawing, the art of averaging. So many different artists draw Spider-Man's face differently. And mine is a little bit busier than some artists would do it. Now, the difference is here, the center line we put, there's a webbing straddling that one. But in the top of the head, we actually want this one to be one of the lines. And now we have to average a similar degree of slant on this one. Now, look at our purple line. That's our dimensions, right? That's actually where the top of the head is. So now the webbing is going to start going back. You could say. Now, I'm drawing this in a relatively realistic manner, if you like. I'm taking into account the shape of his head. You don't really have to do that. A lot of artists don't really do that, but I'm thinking of doing a rotation on this. And if I do a rotation, this will make a difference. There we come over here. And there's the side of the head. So again, just line's now going to start coming up here. And the perspective. The perspective. Bring another line out. There. Now, these are just construction lines. We have not actually put the webbing in yet. It's just going to help us put the webbing in later. Now, the lines coming down the side of the head. They're going to start changing direction. There. Actually, I think I better put only one line between those two. Yeah, that looks about correct. Get rid of that one. So we do the neck as well, shall we? So I'm going to take a center line down the neck. The body has, it's a broader area. So our webbing pattern here, if you like, is a little bit bigger. And we take into account it's going around the neck. Let's copy our trajectory line for our guide. That will do. And that straight line here. And we can start to flare these out as they would come to meet the chest. And we take one over in that direction. Good. And then we can put a big curve coming around here. I mentioned last week that quite often when you go on social media, you don't see an awful lot of fun art with Spider-Man. And it might be because drawing his webbing can be a little bit complex sometimes. Okay, so now we've got that. Let's actually start to put in the webbing pattern. So that's my sketching. I'll make sure it's nice and light. I'm going to make a new layer and call it webbing. So the first thing I'm going to do is reaffirm the straight lines. We go right around. There. Right around. We're going to put all of the straight lines in for us. Yeah. I can't remember. Am I time-lapsing this? Yes, I am. Good old time-lapse. Yeah. That is some pretty dodgy sketching there, Jerome Hinds. Come up the top of the head, around to the front. There we are. Come down to the front. This is a busy weekend, actually, for the Madness Entertainment Group. I'm coming to you from the Madness Entertainment Group, and we're streaming live from the Hall of Heroes Con in Indiana. And in fact, so today it's a 2-day con. Today's the second of 2 days. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to run the ad. And if you're in the area, you can get down there later today. So hang on a second. Let me pause my music. I'm going to run that trailer so you can see what's going on at the Hall of Heroes Con right now. And there's my music. Let me pause. Check this out, people. Madness Entertainment Group is streaming live from this con all weekend. They were there yet. We were here yesterday. Actually, today. Sorry, I'm in Singapore. It's 6 a.m. here, or 6:20 a.m. here. Of course, it's 6:20 p.m. there. The con is still happening as I draw this. So here's the trailer. for you all to check it out.
Hey heroes, cosplayers, and pop culture fans, are you ready to assemble for the ultimate geek weekend? The Hall of Heroes Comic-Con is invading Elkhart, Indiana with 2 explosive days of comics, stars, and non-stop fun. Join us Saturday, May 30th and Sunday, May 31st, 2026 at the Northern Indiana Event Center in Elkhart. Doors open at 10 a.m. both days. VIP early entry at 9:30 a.m. on Saturday. We're rolling out a massive lineup of legends. Meet Eric Estrada from Chips and Fallout, Dirk Benedict from the A-Team and Battlestar Galactica, Tara Reid from American Pie and Sharknado, Catherine Cavadini, voice of Blossom from the Powerpuff Girls, Kel Mitchell from All That, Kieran and Kel and Mystery Men, horror icon Tony Moran, the original Michael Myers in Halloween, and more. Plus, top comic artists including Arthur Sidem, Marvel Zombies and Deadpool, John Kramer from Batman and Wonder Woman, Keith Pollard, a legendary Marvel artist on Spider-Man and Thor, and more. Scott Rosama, Stuart Sager, and others. Get autographs, photo ops, and chats with the stars and creators who shaped your favorites. The floor is packed with over 150 vendors, artists, and cosplayers offering exclusive comics, collectibles, original art, and merch. Enjoy cosplay contests for kids and adults with great prizes, live Q&A panels, artist showcases, interactive zones, and family-friendly fun all weekend. And the excitement goes live. Madness Entertainment Group is broadcasting straight from the con floor all weekend on YouTube, Build, and Rumble. Catch every moment as it happens, then relive it anytime with the full shows available later on Med TV on Roku. Grab your tickets today at hohcomiccon.org. Hall of Heroes Comic-Con, May 30th and 31st, 2026. Northern Indiana Event Center, Elkhart, Indiana. We'll see you there, heroes. This ad was created by Ned on behalf of Madness Entertainment Group and Hall of Heroes Comic-Con.
So you saw that and you heard that. The Hall of Heroes Comic-Con. And I'm a silver and bronze age kind of guy. The old school. And I remember as a kid seeing the name Keith Pollard in the comics. And it's great to see that he's still on the circuit. He's still out there doing stuff, man. Amazing. Amazing. So I hope some of you are able to get down there and check that out. Okay, so here we are. Putting in the webbing. So you can see the guideline that we had before. The circles are just a guide for us to follow. And they go around in a circle. Whoops. Follow your own guides, boy. And then the moves on the upper head. And as I said, I've taken into account the sides and the top of the head. So we're going to get to that now. So you can see the frequency here. If they go around the head, they come down the side. That one's going to go behind. They come down here, and then there's some finally on the top of the head. There. So let's look at the neck. We're putting the verticals first again. The time lapse is lapsing. Not lapsing, what am I talking about? The time lapse is making my computer a little bit slow. There we are. So we're putting in these verticals. On Spidey's costume, I always do the verticals first. So today is the last day of mainstream May. Now, when it comes to the body, I always do the webbing, going downwards. Now, the late great Steve Ditko, a lot of his webbing was going upwards. Different artists have different preferences for how they draw the webbing. I don't know why, but I always tend to do the body going downwards. It's just a personal preference thing. I can't remember, honestly, what the movies follow. Putting a couple of incidentals. Good. And just reaffirm the shape of the face. And out the head. Let's go over here. Keep a steady hand, boy. There. Let me check to see if I'm covering everything. Yeah, I've got all of that. I just need add a vertical missing there. And to reaffirm the eye. Good. See, we drew through the object. We have where the eye sockets would really be if we could see Spider-Man's eyes. I never forget an editor in London many, many years ago. I did a submission of Judge Dredd. And Judge Dredd has a large helmet. And I didn't exactly get the alignment correct. And one of the art editors there showed me why you should draw through the object. And it's helped me ever since. So I'm going to put a little bit of feeling into these eyes. Put a little bit of lighting into the black. Not all artists do this, but I'm just going to put a bit of embellishment in here. There we go. There we go. I'm going to put. Now, I'm not sure if any of you were here this morning. We had a late night art attack, 1 a.m. on a Saturday morning. So late on a Friday night. I do that every week with my partner in crime, Raoul Miss You. And we had a special guest for the second time. We had Jared Chrisman, an independent filmmaker. And we previewed his movie. And it was really good fun. And in fact, I'm going to run a quick trailer to show you what we got up to this morning on Late Night Art Attack. We just finished this little bit of Spidey spotting on the eyes. Then I think they tried a little bit of rotation on Spidey. You see how the webbing interpretates around the rest of the head. That should be an interesting exercise. Okay, so here's our Spider-Man. Let's switch up our construction, shall we? So there's our Spidey, the front view. I'm going to see you back here in a moment when we do the 3/4 and side view. Meanwhile, I'm going to give you a quick preview of what we got up to on Late Night Art Attack during the wee hours this morning. Check this out. If I can find it. Yes, there we are. Here it is.
Previously on Late Night Art Attack.
So you can see, I did like an art noir piece, and where even shadows fear to tread. That's the name of the movie in production. We had Jared Chrisman in with us. It was really, really good fun. So let's have a look. Whoops, let me switch on my earcon. Out here in Singapore, it's very humid. It can get very hot indeed. Right, so let me move my construction over to the left. Give myself a bit more space. And I'm going to get some construction lines. Construction. And first thing I want is, I always do my construction in light blue. So I get a blue pencil and let me draw a straight line. That's a bit thick. That's a bit thick, boy. Okay, that's a bit more subtle. So I'm going to put in a guideline for the chin, for the top of the head. For the actual eyes, as we drew through the object, then the bottom of the eye pattern, the top of the eye pattern, the top of the bulge of the ears, the bottom of the bulge of the ears. And the pattern, as I drew it, the bottom of it. And the shoulder line, I'm going to put in. And I think that should be enough for us to do our other constructions from. So there's all my construction lines. I shall put them all in one folder and call that folder construction. And my construction is in light blue. I'm going to change the layer color so they're easy to identify. Now put them at the back. Stay in the back, boy. So now SK for skeleton, and it's a side view. SV. And a second, there's a comment here of some description. Someone's lurking. Oh, hello, Kerry. Long time no see. Thanks for dropping by. Got a question. Did Spider-Man Noir inspire this one? Actually, I can't say yes to that. I'm drawing Spider-Man because the month of May was mainstream month, and he's a very popular character. So I'm drawing him just because he's mainstream. But I can guess why you may have thought that. So let's have a look at the side view of Spidey. So we got the top of the head there. Oh, sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I should put in a guideline for where we put the edge of the head. Remember my purple construction? There. That's where I've designated the front of the head. So now, as we come in here to shape the head, I'm going to put the circumference, the pinnacle of the head up here. So that's the back of the head. He's going to be facing to the right. And I know that I want his forehead to start there on that line. And his chin is going to come in here. Now there's his eyes. So we know that when we bring down, let's bring down a curve for the head. Remember, a head is like a D, right? So we can give a basic shape like this. And a head is basically a ball on a stick. So we now can put the chin in. And we know the dent of the eye will happen here. And the nose, we didn't put in a guideline for the nose, but we know it's halfway between the eyes and the chin. So there. This is going to give us the basic shape of Spidey. There's a tram line for the ears. We said the ears were between here and there. So I'm going to give myself 2 markers there. So if we have a gentle jaw coming up, we can see the jawline. Oh, I didn't put in a guideline for the jawline. God damn. We see the jaw changes trajectory here. Okay. Let's come back here. You can't tell he has nose or ears. That's right. But we got a slight bulge here, Kerry. See that? That tells us the ears are there. We got the ridge here for the jaw. So that's going to come down here. And that ear bulge is going to be there. So then we've got the back of the head. And Spider-Man is not really buff like some of those other characters. So his neck is not the thickest. So there, take that head up. And here's where it gets tricky now. Because drawing comics, right, we can kind of draw anything we want. One second, I want to make that forward a little bit larger. We can draw anything we like within reason. But when you get into doing the rotations, you'll soon find out if whether or not you've drawn is scientifically possible or not. And it's common knowledge that when they try to bring a lot of comic creations into the world of 3D animation, there was a lot of things that just couldn't be done. What we did in the comics, it wasn't actually really possible. And doing rotations can definitely keep you on track. Okay, so we got this. And I didn't put a guideline in for the inner eyes. I'm going to put one here. And then one. Oh, well, you can see there's pretty much one there already. So I'm going to save. Save. Okay, Kerry got some more questions here. I have learned so much from watching your shows. Oh, thanks, Kerry. And then actually, Kerry asked an interesting question here. We can draw anything we want if we're Jerome. Thank you very much. Actually, it's all about breaking it down. Have you ever considered making a drawing tutorial book? Kerry, on the screen, can you see that QR code? That's how to draw characters from the Thunder Zone. Now, I'm launching that book on your Independence Day. No, actually, you're not in US, right? I think, are you in Ireland? I can't remember. But July the 4th is Independence Day. And I'm launching that book there. And there's lots of tutorials in that. But the pre-orders are available there at the QR code. But you should ask that question. Lovely. The way you show the steps and describe them would make a good book for people who wanted to learn to draw. That's what I'm trying to do in the book, Kerry. Yes, it's all very step by step. I try and give you a preview before I finish here today. That's right, you're in the UK, I remember. I think, are you in Ireland? Yes, it's a physical book. That's the digital pre-launch but there's going to be a hardcover and a softcover edition. So thanks so much for those encouraging words, Kerry. Yeah, that should be out. July 4th is when the hard copies become available on Amazon. That's where they be. I've got to put one more guideline here for the inner eye. That's better. Now I'm going to go back. Remember we did the dimensions, right? Where we find the side of the head. Now let's keep it real. Keep it real. We've got, that's the front. Whoops, wrong color. DN for dimensions. I do this in purple. So let's say we got the eyes here. So the eyes are always inside of like a cavern, if you like. So let's say this is the side of the head. Starts here. Then the cheek is going to come down to the jaw, and it goes in for the chin. So now that we know where the side of the head is, this has to dictate the size of the eye. Because we can see the eye just goes around the side of the head slightly. So the eye starting at this point is on this side of the head. And we know the top part comes up to this. And the bottom touches this line. And it's just inside the side of the head. So from this angle, the eye looks like this. Now, if you're doing a character design, if you get to this point and you draw something and it looks wrong, it will mean, in effect, that your front view is wrong. That means you need to go back and change your front view. And this is why we do rotations. It really helps with really sorting out how your character looks. And we know that the edge of the eye is just outside the front of the face. So if we follow our front view, this eye, whoops, I took that to the wrong, I didn't follow my guidelines. Boy, follow your own guides. God damn. That's meant to be in there. That's right. And this one is over here. There we are. And the top one comes up on the center of the eye is on this one. I apologize, people. I'm not following my own guides. Look, the center of the eye finishes here. That means that's got to come up here. It's too early, people. It's nearly 7 a.m. in the morning here in Singapore. Right, that's the outer eye. Calm down, boy. Here's the inner eye. The inner eye is just within the circumference of the front of the face. And it's going to come down and meet this line and then come up here. Right, that looks more correct. What's the matter with the boy? Follow your guidelines. Always have faith in your guides. Hang on. Terry says something here. Will it be on Amazon? I'm going to need it. Never mind your answer, dude. You need to share that you're doing it far and wide. Help me spread the word, Kerry. I'm a bit of a boomer. I'm very bad at spreading the word. You should be on shows promoting the book. I shall try that. I will get more active out there. If you know of any, if you could suggest any shows that I should maybe hit up to see if they have me on, that would be really appreciated. That would be greatly appreciated. Right. So now let's start doing our webbing from the side. We had a circle between the eyes. So from the side, we're going to have half a circle, correct? And we have one line coming down just this side of the face. And here, we're going to have to take into account the actual nose and shape of the face. Now, by no means do comic artists genuinely do this. They don't. Okay, you can see this piece of webbing actually meets the side of the face there. Then it goes around. So my drawing is actually quite accurate. There's another one. Now it goes around the side of the face. And that pattern's going to get wider. God damn. Is that correct? Well, it's gone around the side of the face. So it's very, to keep track of it, that's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, correct? Then we've got the fourth one from just under the eye. That's right. It's crossing the purple line about at this juncture. And now it's going to go around his jawline. Then there's one coming out the side of the eye. That's going to go straight across the ears. That's correct. This is where the mask gets very tricky. Okay, we're carrying that line across there. Oh no, Kerry's scolding me. Consider your ass told off, Mr. Shaw. That book, you are way too talented to be hiding away. I don't mean to be hiding. You wouldn't believe it, right? I spent, oh, look, sorry. I've made a terrible mistake here. I've put the shadow on the wrong line. Sorry, not the shadow, the shape of the head. The front of the face is up there. You silly man. Sorry. There we are. Yes, I spent 30 odd years in advertising and design. And funny thing, when it comes to social media, I definitely am showing my years as a boomer, so you could say. Very bad. You know, keeping up with doing relentless posts and that kind of stuff. Definitely not easy. I mean, you've got to be consistent. Like, I've started posting some stuff in a group called the Gene Colan Appreciation Society. And getting a little bit of traction there, you could say. But no excuse, really. I'm cheating here, you know. I'm from this side, because of the nature, because of the angle that we're at, this webbing is going to be quite intense, you know. Keeping it real. Keeping it real, son. Okay, yeah, I was going to cheat, but I'm not. I'm going to go full film production. Right? If you look at my front elevation, you'll see this. 1, 2. There are 2 lines that meet the forehead before it goes to the side of the head. So if I'm going to be true to my front view, I'm going to have 2 lines up here. Yes. Keeping it real. Now, we come down the side of the head. There's a line on the side of the head there. That's correct. Then 1, 2, 3. two. There's one coming up here. It can get confusing, you know. If you're trying to actually stay accurate to what you drew from the front view, it can be very tricky. Right. This one is going to come up here. And there's one coming from the side of the eye. And this is where Spider-Man's webbing confuses a lot of artists. Right. There's another one just below the eye line here. Comes up here. And you can see in the movie what they had to do to combat this, what I'm doing here. Now, they gave him a mask, which would end here. But it actually defied logic, right? These lines now start to become vertical at this point to come down the neck in this way. But some of this didn't actually work out in the movie. And you can see that they kind of like, no, they had to break protocol from what we did in the comics. And as this line comes down the chest area, now the shoulder, okay, if we drew further from the other side, the shoulder would be about here. And that's going to go down the chest. Then it will be webbing coming over the shoulder, like there. Jolly good. Okay. Did you say it launches start of July? Yes. Independence Day, Kerry. That is July the 4th. That's when the hard copy goes live, if you like. So let's redo our circles. Right, we had a circle coming up here. There's one going into. From there, it came up there into the eyes. Now this one, now you see, I was wondering about this. Let me go back to my front view. I'm indeed going to put in another line of webbing on his chin. That's going to disappear there. I don't always do that, but I'm going to do it on this occasion. So this line just encroaches there, it goes out, then it comes back into view behind the eye. Good. Now remember the circle continues around. Remember, this is a half view. E. I'm definitely not following my own guides here. Sorry. Sorry, people. Look at that. That half. It meets that there. So if we continue, I think when you're doing rotations of characters, it never fails to amaze me just how much it keeps you on your toes. Hang on, I did that in the wrong layer. Cut. Peace. God damn, Jerome. Concentrate, boy. Oh my goodness, look who's in the house. Raul, who I'm impressed by my own sound quality. Guess who I am? My name starts with a J. Raul, that's my partner in crime that I just showed you the trailer from Late Night Art Attack. Oh no, Kerry's chiming in. Just posted in the Madness group about book. Oh, thanks, Kerry. I'll have to appoint you as my manager. How about that? I'll pay you 20%. Raoul, sort him out with shilling the book. Raoul is the master shiller. Raoul gets his stuff seen by some very incredible people. I am not Raoul, sadly to say. This Spider-Man is so impressive. Wow. Oh, thanks, Raoul. Raoul's laughing. Yeah, I'm actually trying to keep it real, Raoul, right? I'm going through the very meticulous. I'm actually sticking to the guides as I've done it here, so to speak. Now this one is just below that construction line, and this webbing finishes all the way up here, which means my curve here, yeah, up there. If I follow my front view, that should be there. Yeah, what you see from the front and side view sometimes, when you come to do your other views, can be quite ridiculous. Now you see that I didn't take enough construction lines. Whoops. I should have put a construction line for the webbing there. Uh-oh, my time lapsing is making my computer drag. Always take across construction lines. It makes life really easy. Calm down, boy. Right, so now we need a webbing coming up to this point of the head, and this one goes out of view. So I'm going to bring this down here. This comes around the chin. There's another line of webbing just on the circumference of the head. That's going to come down. It's going to cover the ear, go behind here. And here's where things, when you look at the mask in the movie, it's very interesting to watch what happens here, right? So now we're going to have to start to fan the pattern. So it's going to come down around the back of the neck, and it's going around the back of the head, trying to stay perpendicular to the webbing pattern. Now look, we got one on the neck that's starting here at the halfway point, and then it ends down here. That would be this one. Yeah, that's correct. And it would be, sorry, that's a little bit too shallow, sorry, too steep. Then we have another one coming down the neck area. I've shortened his neck. I got. Follow your own guidelines, boy. Have faith. That line has got no foreshortening. Why am I making the webbing drop so much there? That trajectory was wrong. Then this one, coming down towards the chest, comes up across the shoulder. And by the time it reaches here, it's going over in that direction. This can start to flail here. Okay. So now I'm going to put in the actual pattern, if you like. Yeah, let's put in the actual pattern. Talk about sketching things on the wrong layer. Sheesh. Okay, so we always do the verticals first, yeah? vertical. And down the side of the face, change trajectory as it meets the jaw. And I'm not going to go full scientific, perfect lines according to bulges in ears and what have you. One goes around the back of the head. Let's do our webbing on the nose. There. And we take a line over here. Running a bit late today, so I'll be finishing 15 minutes later than normal. So instead of 7:30, I will finish at 7:45 today. Jolly good. Let's continue this vertical here. And there. And I'm going to adjust this one slightly, because the frequency should be closer the nearer to the camera. And this one will be less intense. There. So let's put in the webbing now. The webbing goes under. At the top. And it goes over at the bottom. Because I follow John Romita Sr. He used to take the webbing over on the face at the bottom. There, up and over the head, down the side. A second. Hang on. Is there some more here? This one was okay. Yes, I've shown that already. We're all laughing yet. About Jared. Yes, what about Jared? The only thing that impressed Jared that night was his own sound quality. All right. Our guest this morning, did he offer a job in his next film? What happened after me and Jared was talking after. Why would he offer me a part in this film? I can't act. Maybe I can act the fool. Hey, Pops is in the house. Pops, should you be at the Comic Con? What are you doing in here, son? Well, if you're broadcasting from the con, I suppose you could be in here, yes. Hey, Hall of Heroes tonight. I'm ready. Raul, you're not even going to be there. Stop pretending. Tara Reid, Raul forever. Pops, if you meet Keith Pollard, say he has a fan here in Singapore. I've never seen him before. I didn't even know he was, okay, I don't mean it in a rude way, but I didn't even know he was still alive. Jeez, man, amazing. I talked to Tara today, told her about the network. All right, yeah. Oh, madness. I can't read all this. I didn't finish. Did you film it? Oh, did he? I guess Raul's got a crush on Tara Reid. Behave, Raul. You go over, Jerome? Oh man, I can't get to that con. I'm in the wrong continent. You rebel. Oh, yeah, maybe I can watch the Sunday broadcast. Yeah, I'm gonna try and do that. Watch the Madness Entertainment Group live from the Hall of Heroes Con. Splendid. Okay, so we've got this webbing coming in around the head. Yeah, as I said, I think the reason why you don't really see an abundance of Spider-Man fan art on social media is I've heard a lot of artists say that they find it a bit tricky. Like here, for example, see my webbing is going under on the body, but coming down here, I've already gone going over. So I'm going to start to change my trajectory. Remember I mentioned in the movie they had a problem with this. Now I can see in the movie where they actually follow Steve Ditko, who always went over with his pattern. Which means that my front view technically is wrong. It should be over if it's going to line up with the mask. God damn. Amazing stuff. Okay, let's put some spotting on this mask. And then I'm going to do a 3/4 rotation to show how you can calculate rotations. So let me move. Hang on. Look at me. No layer etiquette. I'm not layering my labels. Okay, this is my render. Okay. So I'm going to put this in one folder. I'm going to call this SV, side view. Correct? And all of this is the front view. Put another folder, FV, for front view. Good. Right. Whoops, my rendering there is a bit soft, isn't it? Yeah. That rendering is a little bit suspect. I need to go over this. Hang on. Let me just reaffirm his key lines. Forward. Okay, that looks a bit more definitive. Kerry was not convinced by his ears not showing, so I'll put in an accent there. Special requests for Kerry. Spider-Man's ears. Okay, now I've been drawing a bit big. Gotta shove these guys over for the 3/4 view. So let's see how we calculate a 3/4 view, yeah? So you get a new layer. SK for skeleton. Hang on, let me just check. What else is going on here? Okay, we have a mad conversation here. Oh man. I'll try and get to some of those comments a bit later. I want to try and get to this 3/4 view. Watching the conversation is very entertaining. Right, so I'm going to rotate this face to the right 3/4. So let's start with our fundamental shape. Right, we've got the back of the head. Wrong color. So we can see the shape that we've got going on Spider-Man's head. So let's put the back of the skull up here. You see where we've got the front of the head meeting the face area. So we know that the head is going to come down here. It's at this point primarily that the head starts to change trajectory. We see here that the neck is going to come down to about here. The back of the head to the neck, sorry. And the chin reaches here. So we want a 3/4 view. So I'm going to bring this curve in. And the way how I normally calculate a 3/4 view is I divide the head into 3. So I've got a basic shape here. So from the center line, which is here, I'm going to divide that in 3. So drawing is all about averaging. 3. Okay, so that means that the ear will fall behind here. This is going to give me a rotation to work with. We put the ear behind. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm getting my maths confused here. How many quarters in a whole? 4. Not a third? You silly man. Divide the head in half. Divide the halves in half. This is 3/3. Sorry, 3/4. God damn. I think it's too early for me, man. Right? So, so we're going to take the chin in here, and the ear falls behind the 3/4. That's going to give us a basic point of reference there. Neck, come down here. So now we're going to find the center of the face. Get the center of the chin. There. And we know that the head starts to go over at that point. So 3/4. 1, 2, 3. So that means at the front. Let's change the color to get our shape. So here's the front plane. And in front of the face, 2/4. And the eye socket is in here. So the cheek, remember the cheek came down here? Look, there's the eye socket there. And then we had the cheek come down to here. Then the jawline came in, and it came in for the chin. Okay, so this is roughly the shape of what we're talking about. So if the dent of the eye is there, we can expect the cheek to be somewhere there. Jolly good. So now we get another layer. And let's start plotting the eye shape. So we know the center of the head is here. The eye falls in here, and the other eye will be about there. Look at the front view. So let's drop in the circle first. The circle goes above this double tram line and down to this line. Okay, so there's the circle of our webbing. The circle of life. So then we have the mask coming around to just outside. Sorry, my time lapse is stalling my computer. Can you see the mask came around the side of the head? There. And it came down to this line. And it came back up to this point there. And oval point comes up over here. Of course, as things go around another shape, you know, it's gonna get warped. So taking into account the displacement of everything, you've got to try and make allowances for that because it will affect the shape of what you're drawing. And you know, Spider-Man's eyes are quite a complex shape, you could say. Okay, good. You can go up the other side. It's going to go around here. And we can see that the eye touches the man probably somewhere over there. So now the center comes down to this line and touches this line exactly at the corner of the head. Now this is where you're going to find out if whether or not my outer eye is in fact the right shape. And we can see already it is not. This should have come over more. Good. And now the inner eye on the other side. Okay, good. Now, we imagine the nose. We can see the bulge in the mask here. So we just put in an accent here. Now, I'm going to slim his face down slightly here. And if we look at the front, his chin, relatively slim. There. That's going to be displaced, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so we got the basic shape of the mask going. So next comes our webbing. I'll make another layer called WB for webbing. Okay. Oh, there's a few people watching, it looks like. How long we got left? Oh, still got a bit of time. Could be finishing a bit later today. What's going on here then? Will you be live madness tonight at Hall of Heroes? Yeah, I think we can all say yes. We will be. Are we there watching live? Yes. It starts at 10 p.m., right? I think it finishes at 6 p.m. I apologize, Jerome. No Tower comments. That's all right. I have shared your Amazon link far and wide and told each person you need to kick up the booty to fill your book, mister. Thank you very much, Kerry. I've never enjoyed being punished so much before in my life. Thank you very much. No, I do not give people's faces unless they come to us. Pops is reserved. He's not a hard sell. Well, we can have comments like that on the show. It's a family show. This is Supa-Saturdays Draw-Along. Keep it clean, boys. I said hi, gave her a flyer, and told her what we do if she comes by tomorrow. Sweet. Yeah. Well done, Pops. Jerome, reach out to Dash, who's part of Madness. Chris Brown, aka Laughing Rogue, thinks Dash would consider having you on to promote book if you reach out. Okay. Thanks for that, Kerry. I'll speak to Pops about that as well. Yeah, I got to get a bit more aggressive. You drew that Spider-Man, you got to be drawing for Marvel. I don't think Marvel would have me now. I draw too old school, man. Too much detail. Who is your artistic influence for Spider-Man? Kirby? No, Kirby couldn't draw Spider-Man actually, Raoul. He was very bad at Spider-Man. He would always draw Spider-Man too big. To me, the best Spider-Man artist will probably be John Romita. I love Steve Ditko, I love Gil Kane, but I think John Romita is the best. Made FB messages, group Jerome, over to you. Get your booty on their show to promote your book. MF, well, that's some strong language, but point taken. Did you make Jerome who own Facebook page called Shill? God, you guys are busy talking. I didn't, but I should. Hello from Texas. Enjoying your Spider-Man drawing. You're welcome, Dave. Thank you very much. Do it, call it show. Oh, make it. That's very funny. That would be a funny group. Are you trying to be a bad influence, Raul? You are a reason there won't be on cam anymore. Raul, what have you been doing, son? Okay, here we are. Once again. So now we got a front and a side view to help us complete this. Now I did put a shoulder in here, so we can kind of drop that in roughly. And as we look at the shoulders here, if you imagine you draw through the object where the other shoulder would be. So how much is his body actually rotated? Okay, by this time, we're only going to see the shoulder poking out. So we're probably going to see that over there like this. So let's have a look. Let's have a look at its webbing, shall we? We do the verticals first, always. So we can see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 lines under the eye coming out. So from here, 2, 3, 4. And from the side view, we can see that it comes up over the ear from just under the eye here. So let's follow this. Now this, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you can do a drawing of you can do a character design and the front view looks perfectly fine. And you could do the side view, looks perfectly fine. But when you get to the 3/4 view, if you've done something wrong, it's going to show up here. This is what you call sorts out the men from the boys. Right, so it's the pattern's going up now, and it's going to start going over the nose. It's the other side. It's the other side of the nose, right? So it's gonna kind of disappear. Look, that one comes down just the other side of the chin. So it's going to be there. It's going to get dragged out of sequence. And this other one behind here, this is the wrong side of the nose. So that's going to almost be obscured. Whoops. I'm not following my trajectories. That's going to come in a bit. Then this one, drawing comics can get you into bad habits, you know. You can draw things that scientifically can't happen. I'm trying to keep it real here today. And I'm not really keeping it real, because when I look at this, his neck here is thicker. And I think you're going to see that. That's better. Now remember, we had a center line for the top of the head. So we can come in here and put that in and go over the top of the head as well. As I always say in my tutorials, always find the center of an object. It makes life a lot easier. So we've got 2 lines either side here. And the third line ends on the corner of the head. So 1, 2, 3, okay? That's keeping our trajectories in line. And they go up and over the head. There. This week is the last week in mainstream May, of course. And how long we got left? We still got a bit of time. Okay, I'm going to run a trailer for what's coming up next on Supa-Saturdays. We're coming to the end of mainstream month. And after this, it's going to be, well, I won't say anything. Just watch the trailer and listen to next month's theme. Here we go.
Supa-Saturdays Draw-Along welcomes you to Jungle June. That's right. Join Jerome Hinds here on the Madness Entertainment Group for a month of tutorials on how to draw some of the best-known heroes from the land of rainforest. Black Panther, Shana the She-Devil, Khazar, and Zabu. And of course, the king of the jungle, Tarzan. That's Jungle June with Jerome Hinds on Supa-Saturdays Draw-Along.
So next month, from next week, we'll be drawing characters who are connected with the jungle. And next week, we're probably going to start, I think we might start with Shana the She-Devil. Yeah, that would be, because we haven't drawn any women for a long time. We did Wonder Woman the other day. Okay, now I just drew that stuff without looking at any of my references. Okay, so this piece of webbing, this one going over this side of the head. That's the corner. Yeah, there's one coming up the side here. The corner, this guy here. And this is going over. I'm not following my trajectories here, you know. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I cannot be dishonest. See that line there? Look at that. I didn't follow my front view, you know. You naughty boy. I'm telling you, I'm cheating. I've gone full comic book. I'm not sticking to the actual rules of what I've done on the other view. Ah, dear. What a fraud. We've got one coming up here, and one coming from the side over the air. Then we started coming down the neck, didn't we? Yeah. That tapers out for the neck there. We came down here, started to change trajectory. It's going to come down for the chest, body, and that one over there will be flailing over in that direction. Good. Now let's put our circles in. The first webbing. Okay, we take into account the nose. There. The one comes in here and it goes down to this line here. Yeah. Then we have that one just encroaching on the chin here. And there we took it up the side of the eye. Yeah, that follows logic. And this one went up the side and meets this line in the center. Okay, good. Yeah. Then we had one in the center. When you find the center of something, you always can keep on track to keep things in basic shape. And then there was another one that reached here and went into the side of the eye there. Yeah, that's keeping on track. Then the side of the head had one covering the air and went into the jawline. Yeah, that's correct. Over the top of the head, and it met at this line on the center of the head. There's the center of the head, so it's going to meet there. That's the pinnacle. It's going to be at its highest point there. Always check where your different lines or contours are at a point of a center. It helps to keep the shape. If you keep the shape of things intact, your drawing will just look more solid. You know, if you're drawing from imagination, which is a bit tough, you need as many things as possible to keep you in line is the center. It's going to drop down a bit. Good. Goes around. As I said, my front view I cheated because I should have kept an over pattern happening. Whoops. How are we doing? 10 minutes. Okay, I'm going to render this and we should wrap up nicely to end this month's mainstream May with a rotation of Spidey. You got a bit of a double chin there. God damn. Okay, let me just knock back my construction a bit. Sorry, Spidey. Put a few pounds on you, boy. No stabilization. God damn. That's better. Okay. I always do my shapes first. Put in the contour. Shape of the ears. Contour for the shoulder. Okay, let's define the eyes first. And the inner eye. Okay, seems I've got a few of you watching here. Just want to give you a quick preview of what me and Raoul got up to this morning on Late Night Art Attack, 1 a.m. Here's a quick recap.
Previously on Late Night Art Attack.
Yeah, that was good fun this morning, man. Really good fun. I'm gonna think a few comments have come in here. Let's have a look. Who's this? Hey, Dan's in the house. I really like your version. Obviously more Ditko than Romita or McFarlane. All right, yes. So, wow. Dan's the man. He spots these things, you know. I talk about Romita, but maybe I do draw a bit more like Ditko, you know, thinner neck and that kind of stuff. Dan is the man behind Thunderzone Comics. So you see on the screen there for the pre-orders, how to draw characters from the Thunderzone. Dan is the man behind Thunderzone. Just so you know. Raoul says, Argo in the house. In fact, Thunderzone is an imprint of Argo Comics, which I think has been going for close to 20 years. One of the longest running independent publishers out there, Argo. Dan the man. Nice, it's jungle time, baby. Yes, Raoul, it's going to be jungle time. In June, jungle June. Welcome to the jungle, sing it, Jerome. Guns N' Roses, sing it. This week with Jerome, overtime with Jerome. Yeah, I started a bit late, Raoul. That's why. Oh, Dan is saying hi to Raoul. Yeah. Raoul says, Dan is the next Stan Lee. Yes, Raoul's amazed at how many characters Dan has created. It is ridiculous. Got a huge universe. I would say it's even more R. Adams than Ditko. No, I'm not familiar with R. Adams. You know, I've heard a lot about him, but I didn't collect any comics that he drew. Damn. Hang on a second. I didn't start my music back, did I? It's awfully quiet in here. Here we are. Okay, so I've broken my own rules. I started doing my curves before my verticals. Can't do that, boy. I will do my verticals first. There's no rules to this, of course. You don't have to do your verticals first, but I think it's easier to do them first because the curved webbing bits are harder to plot. Oh no, my computer's stalling because of my time lapse. Right, I've got 5 minutes to wrap up. Can he make it? If I stop talking so much, maybe I would. Okay, let me finish the center line here. Good. Yeah, our guest this morning on Late Night Art Attack, Jared Chrisman. He's a very, very talented guy, man. He done the film score to his movie. And his sense of directing is really, really good. And the story is based on native Indian folklore of like a cursed area. Okay, I don't want to give too many spoilers. But yeah, it's a really cool story. Can go full Dicko, man. Overhand. When I draw Spider-Man's webbing, I like to go thick and thin on it. Has a nice feel to it. But you always got to remember that things are going in trajectories. There. That webbing is not the most consistent, but it'll do. Or it's going to be very sad to stop drawing these mainstream characters. But I'm looking forward to that, the jungle characters a lot, because Kazar has Zabu, which is drawing a cat, a non-human form. And learning how to draw Zabu, when I was breaking it down, etc., was very rewarding. I've not done a lot of animals. So the chance to include some in the show was very good. Very good to start working on those exercises to go through with you guys. Yeah, man, that's very Ditko. I'm taking my pattern overhand. God damn. Okay. So just render the eyes. There. Now to render, we need to get rid of our stabilization. Here we are. There. Okay. Good. So I'm going to put these all in a folder. Okay, that's called render. Finish just in time. And we call this 3/4. TQ. So let me just, I actually prefer to do this. I like to move my 3/4 there and my side view there. So it's a bit more like animation. You see the head rotating as it goes through. There. I'll switch off all my construction, shall I? Okay, there's the construction gone off the front view. I'll switch off the construction on this. My side view. I've been a naughty boy. I didn't do all my rendering on the same layer. On my 3/4 view, I'll switch off the. I'm so untidy sometimes. Look at that. I put the center circle on the wrong layer. Let me render that quickly. Okay. Okay, so there's the Spidey rendered. So we've pretty much come to the end of this week's episode. Just a few more comments here I can see. He does that tight webbing. All right, Adams does tight webbing. Oh, does he? Okay. Yeah, I do. I'm quite meticulous in my webbing. Art is the king. Oh, Raoul likes Art Adams. I've heard his name so many times, you know, but I'm just not familiar with his work. Oh, Raoul's reminding me. Yeah. The battle cry. You must save. Damn right. Thank you very much, Raoul, for reminding me. I don't. What, any more comments before I say goodnight? Yo, Pack. Pack's not happening yet, man. Keep the pencils tight. Keep the pencils light. Yes. All here, Tower Reed. I hope Hall of Heroes is live. Like, this is a show. Yeah, let's hope Tower takes note of the Madness Entertainment Group. Okay, thanks a lot for tuning in, everyone. I'll be back next Monday night at next Friday night at 1 a.m. Saturday morning for Late Night Art Attack with Raoul. Then I'll be back at 6 p.m. like here for Supa-Saturdays Draw-Along. Meanwhile, I will leave you with a preview again of what we're doing. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to preview the Hall of Heroes Con again because Madness Entertainment Group, we're live from there tomorrow. So have a look at that. Enjoy the credits, and I'll see you back here next week on the Madness Entertainment Group. Peace and love.
Hey heroes, cosplayers, and pop culture fans, are you ready to assemble for the ultimate geek weekend? The Hall of Heroes Comic-Con is invading Elkhart, Indiana with 2 explosive days of comics, stars, and non-stop fun. Join us Saturday, May 30th and Sunday, May 31st, 2026 at the Northern Indiana Event Center in Elkhart. Doors open at 10 a.m. both days. VIP early entry at 9:30 a.m. on Saturday. We're rolling out a massive lineup of legends. Meet Eric Estrada from Chips and Fallout, Dirk Benedict from the A-Team and Battlestar Galactica, Tara Reid from American Pie and Sharknado, Catherine Cavadini, voice of Blossom from the Powerpuff Girls, Kel Mitchell from All That, Kevin and Kel and Mystery Men, horror icon Tony Moran, the original Michael Myers in Halloween, and more. Plus, top comic artists including Arthur Sidem, Marvel Zombies and Deadpool, John Kramer from Batman and Wonder Woman, Keith Pollard, a legendary Marvel artist on Spider-Man and Thor, and more. Scott Rosama, Stuart Sager, and others. Get autographs, photo ops, and chats with the stars and creators who shaped your favorites. The floor is packed with over 150 vendors, artists, and cosplayers offering exclusive comics, collectibles, original art, and merch. Enjoy cosplay contests for kids and adults with great prizes, live Q&A panels, artist showcases, interactive zones, and family-friendly fun all weekend. And the excitement goes live. Madness Entertainment Group is broadcasting straight from the con floor all weekend on YouTube, Build, and Rumble. Catch every moment as it happens, then relive it anytime with the full shows available later on Med TV on Roku. Grab your tickets today at hohcomiccon.org. Hall of Heroes Comic Con, May 30th and 31st, 2026. Northern Indiana Event Center, Elkhart, Indiana. We'll see you there, heroes. This ad was created by Nim on behalf of Madness Entertainment Group and Hall of Heroes Comic Con.
Supa-Saturdays, Supa-Saturdays, Draw-Along. Supa-Saturdays, 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 Draw-Along. I love heroes, no matter their age and no matter their size. I wanna be a hero, that's why I love to draw and I wanna create. Supa-Saturdays, 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 Draw-Along.
If you missed the live viewing of any Med production, you can find all our content on Roku or as a member of this channel. Madness Entertainment Group.